Hey guys, we're checking out Hollywood Fantasy Strings by EastWest. And before we get started, just wanted to let you know that I'm an official reseller. So in my website, in my new shop, myaudio.studio, you can find this library as well as anything else by EastWest. And so let's get started and see what's inside and how it sounds. Right, so what we have here is a collection of instruments and ensembles that is geared for scoring, for film, for fantasy, for anything like game scoring. And I'm here with the Opus player. Let's go into the browser and see what are the categories of instruments. So first of all, we have 3 Dulcimers, we have Hardanger Fiddles, we have Lutes, we have Viola Da Gambas, which sounds great. We have Cellis and Basses, we have Violins and Violas. We also have Hurdy Gurdies. And the last category there is a Quickstart. So we're going to check it out, but let's get something going here. So right now I have a couple of things already loaded. I'm going to clear it up. And let's start with the violins and violas. So you can see that once you select anything, and if you're new to EastWest, this is how you actually go about selecting the actual patches. So we have the categories, then we'll have different types like articulations, and you might find key switches as well. So let me show you that first. So when we go into key switches, I'm going to double click that to load. It's going to just be loading the samples, and in the play area you can find the articulation. So on the bottom we have library, we have the articulations, and then we also have mic placement. Let's go back to articulations, and you can see the different articulations, and they are actually key switchable, and you can see that starting from C0. And now some of the key switches are turned off, and this is to just save memory, but you can definitely turn them on and they will load up. And if you're not going to use some of the articulations, go ahead and just switch them off, so you'll save more memory. So right now, let's just have a quick play on each of those. Right, so that is great. And now let's go back to the browser and see what else we have. So we also have the cellos and the basses, and here you can find again different styles like long, short, effects, legato, and also the key switches. So I'm going to try that one, and I'm going to just load it up together with the violins. So I'm just going to drag it right here. It's going to load, but we need to set the MIDI input to Omni or whatever channel you need. And I'm going to solo this. Now, what we can see here in the perform view is that we have the two patches loaded, but they're not really overlapping in the key ranges. And that is something that you might want to take into account, because if we have just one MIDI part here, it's not going to work for both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove this one. And again, if you're new to EastWest, you can just go right here and remove that patch. Go back to the browser or the play, and we can have the other instruments as a separate MIDI channel. And you can adjust or you can just write the MIDI part in accordance to that. You can see that the cellos and basses are much lower in the key area, in the key ranges, and they start from C0. And again, there's so many things here that I'm not going into a lot of details, but if you want to learn more about EastWest and the cloud, the Composer Cloud subscription, I have a video on that, and you're most welcome to just leave comments below this video and I'll be happy to answer anything. Now, something else that you need to know about the EastWest Opus player is that you can use the quick load. So if you'll check this checkbox right here and double click to load any of the patches, you'll see that it loads very fast, but in fact, none of the samples are actually loaded. And as you play, they will get loaded. You can see the red light right here, and it will get into the yellow once I start playing. And eventually, if you use all the keys, it will load all the samples. And that's really great if you want to try out and just have a quick listen, or if the loading is very long. So let's have a quick go. Right, but we don't need that for this demonstration, so I'm going to take it off. And let's move on to the next type of instrument. We have the Dulcimers. Let's have a quick listen to that with the key switches. So I'm going to double click that. It's going to load, and in the perform, you can see the beautiful picture, and we also have the articulations. There are lots of articulations. Let's try some of them. So we have so many articulations, and of course, again, you don't have to load all of them. You can just switch off some of them if you're not using, and you will be saving some memory. Now, if you're not familiar, again, with the Opus player, we have the stereo doubling right here on the top right. We have a choice of reverbs, and see how many, and I mean, just a lot to choose from. And we also have the microphone. So right now we have two microphones loaded here. And once I tick those in the other two, you will get the samples loaded and you can mix them as you please. So let's move on to the next instruments. So we also have the Hardanger Fiddles. And so once we get into the patches, you'll see some description on the top. So for example, right here on the top, we have 3 Hardanger Fiddles, a KS Master, and it just tells you all about that instrument. So let's load that one. Double click, it's loading. Now this one is a little bit more heavy, but it's loaded. And in the play area, you can find the articulations and mic positions as usual. And so let's just have a quick listen to some of the articulations. Next, we have the lute, and I already loaded it with the key switches, and we have all the articulations. So let's have a quick listen. Great. Let's move to the next instrument. So here we have the Viola Da Gamba, and I really love this one. It sounds so alive and with so much character. So now let's have a quick listen to the key switches patches right here. So I'm going to load it up, and this will be lower in the key ranges. Let's go into the play, and you can see exactly where is the range of keys. And we have the key switches, and there's so many articulations. Again, some of them are switched off. I can just turn them on and they will be loaded. So it's great, and everything is ready for us. Let's have a listen here. Let's take a quick look at the cellos and basses. Right, so what we have here, by the way, is the key switches are from C3 onwards, and you can see them in blue color right here. So starting from C3, and you can use your MIDI keyboard, or you can program that into the MIDI patch to have those just change as they play. And so there are many things to choose from. Again, some of the articulations are not loaded. We can definitely load them. So next we have the violins and violas, and this is an ensemble of 8 violins and 6 violas. Let's have a quick listen. And you can see that I already programmed the key switches into the MIDI. So we are moving into the tremolo in some of the parts, and that's really great. So now let's have a quick listen to the performance here. Let's have a quick listen to the Hurdy Gurdies. And by the way, we have 2 patches for that. Let me show you. Let's go into the browser, and we have Hurdy Gurdies 1, and we have long effects and the key switches. And once you select that, you'll get the description, of course, on the top here. So I'm going to load this one up, go into the play, and let's have a quick listen. And I'm just checking out the articulations. So many articulations right here. And finally, let's have a quick look into the quick start category. And here you have 30 different instruments which will get you going. So for example, we can go with this patch and just load it up. And this is the Viola Da Gambas slur articulation here. And I'm just thinking there's nothing special here. It's not different instruments or anything, just some of the settings. And let's try another one. So we have these octave sustains, and I'm gonna load it up, and let's have a listen. And that is pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. So if you have any questions, or you need some help, or you want to consult with me before you're going to buy this or anything else by EastWest, let me know in the comments, or get in touch with me through Facebook or Discord or Twitter. I'm on all these platforms. And to remind you guys, I'm gonna put a link to my very new shop, myaudio.studio, in the description of this video. And so you're most welcome to buy from my shop, which is an official shop for EastWest. And I'll see you guys in the next videos on EastWest or anything else. And thank you. Bye-bye.